Friday of the second week of Lent, March 21st, 2025. The story of Jacob and his sons depicts a love-hate relationship in a household. It shows human weakness at its worst and God's abiding love and faithfulness in a challenging situation. Jacob loved his sons equally but favored Joseph more than the rest of his children. Joseph's siblings knew this and disliked him for it. And one might even question whether it is okay for a parent to love one of their children more than the others. It is a human reality. As a child of his old age, Joseph had the love and affection of Jacob, their father. It was displeasing to his brothers and roused feelings of rejection, envy, jealousy, and resentment and hatred towards Joseph, their brother. Such prolonged negative emotions can lead to a dysfunction in any family, as certain and dire consequences. After the land of his dreams, Joseph's brother loved him less and plotted against him. They aimed to stop him and his dreams. In their calculation, they underestimated him and God's effects. They did not foresee the hand of God upon him. What they fashioned to destroy him became a means of salvation for Jacob's household. It was all part of God's plan for his people, Israel. In hindsight, their plot turned out to be a saving grace. God saved Joseph from the wrath of his brothers and Jacob's household. Reuben became the only voice of reason against the evil they conceived in their heart, spoke with their mouths, and acted. Joseph's experience amidst his brothers is replicated in the parable of the vineyard in the Gospel, a foreshadowing of the suffering and death and Jesus' triumph over sin and death. Similarly, Joseph shared something in this narrative with Jesus in his passion. They stripped him of his tunic, lowered him in an empty cistern, like Jesus in an empty tomb, and were sold for a price of 20 pieces of silver. And in the case of Jesus, he was sold for 30 pieces of silver. In the Gospel, a similar plot developed in the parable Jesus directed to the chief priest and the elders of the people. The tenants maimed, killed, and maltreated the servants sent to them. When they saw the heir to the inheritance, they plotted to kill him and take over what belonged to him. It was all about greed, jealousy, resentment, rejection, and hatred. The good news is that God protects and saves his people. What was intended for evil designs, God turned into a salvific mission. As Christians, persecutions can come on anyone for no reason at all, simply for who you are and what you stand for. Joseph did not merit what he suffered, and neither did Jesus. At last, their intended stumbling block was transformed into a stepping stone. Let us pray for the grace of endurance and the perseverance of faith in the face of evil. We have all received the gifts and talents to enrich our lives and works. Instead of seeking ways to cut short or shortcuts other people's goodness, be it a friend, a relative, neighbor, or co-workers, to better exert such energy for the common good. When you face failure or rejection, don't forget God who makes the impossible possible. Jesus said, "The stone that the builders rejected has become the cornerstone, where the Lord has this been done, and it is wonderful in our eyes." As we go about our Lenten observances, may we learn to rejoice in the sacrifice of fulfilling our daily duties, seeing in them the royal road of the cross to resurrection. Have a blessed Friday. Bye-bye.